Now to a crime alert, the Clay County Sheriff's Office is looking for two people who broke into an Orange Park business. Happened a couple of weeks ago. The two broke a window, got inside, and then stole money from an ATM machine and cash registers. Anyone with information, you are asked to call the Sheriff's Office. And covering Nassau County, Fernandina Beach leaders trying to decide if they should start charging for parking in one part of town. The town's parking committee recommended adding limited paid parking on Center Street and some of those side streets. That's according to the Fernandina Observer. Some say there are problems with the current free 3-hour parking. They say that one person could tie up the spot for an entire lunch or dinner period. Although locals we spoke with don't think paid parking is the solution, we're told the City Commission will look at recommendations at a meeting that's happening August 29th.
Channel 4's Ashley Mitchum is live where police say her on-again, off-again boyfriend dumped her body. And Ashley, obviously, this is just such a tough thing to hear for that woman's family.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A heartbreaking situation. I'm here where police did find her body. There is a little memorial set up. The candles are lit. It's just so quiet out here, and unbelievable to think that this weekend this poor family had to go through the terrible news of hearing that their daughter was found dead. Gold's parents are encouraging people, though, to continue to share stories about their daughter on social media because for them, reliving the good times is helping comfort them during this devastating time.
Her customers, I mean, she had regulars at Bonefish, and they came just for her, you know, just because she was welcoming and that type of warm personality. She wanted to be around, you know, people liked to be around her. She was full of life.
A young woman full of life with big plans taken away from the people who love her. 21-year-old Savannah Gold was murdered. Police say that her on and off boyfriend and co-worker confessed to killing her.
I feel like he's a sociopath because he expressed his concern over Savannah's disappearance to Dan to his face on Friday.
Police say surveillance video shows Gold getting into 28-year-old Lee Rodarte's car the day she disappeared outside a Bonefish Grill. Police say that Rodarte drove off, but Gold never got out of the car. Gold's parents are heartbroken.
She's a great girl, and we're going to miss her, but we are celebrating her life.
He extinguished a bright light. And now because of it, I will never hold her babies.
Rodarte will be back in court on August 29th. We will, of course, be there as well and bring you updates with what happens on this case. I'm live, Ashley Mitchum, Channel 4, the local station. Morning, Mel. I have two emails here telling the story of a JSO officer approaching a prominent local black pastor just sitting in the driver's seat of his vehicle about his window tint. But then local activists say it went too far after that. So here's the story that we're hearing from, again, two local activist groups as well as the Times-Union. Reverend Darren Bolden, he's a pastor in Fernandina Beach. He was in the area of 19th Street with his nephew. They were looking at some property that they were planning on buying for an investment. Well, they were sitting in the car while they were right in front of that property. And as the TU tells us, a post on Facebook tells that story, the officer was sitting there in their car when they pulled up. Two of them approached them, one on each side, and Reverend Bolden disclosed, hey, I have a weapon in my vehicle. I have a permit for it. But as you do when you do get pulled over or questioned by an officer, you have to let them know. And so the officer at that point told him, okay, well, I need to see your license and registration. So the Reverend at that point reached over to grab the license and registration, and that's when things escalated from there. We're told that the officer pointed a gun at the Reverend's head as he went to grab that. And then the other officer on the other side of the vehicle asked the nephew for his ID. And that's when the nephew was so scared. He says that he just said, hey, it's in the floorboard. Please grab it. I don't want to get shot. So local activists throwing up some red flags here saying this went way too far. This should not have been a thing. They should have never pointed guns at them. A very frightening situation. Come to find out, they didn't even get ticketed for that window tint. So JSO sent a statement to the Times-Union about this matter. They said that the matter will be thoroughly investigated by the JSO, and that's from Lori Ellen Smith. Again, we are hoping to hear more from JSO later on about this, but there is a meeting later on today at 11 o'clock. These local groups getting together to discuss how to prevent things like this from happening and why it keeps happening, putting a stop to that and hoping to work with the sheriff's office. So again, we are gathering details from these groups, and we're hoping to hear from that pastor himself today about his experience and more from the sheriff's office. I'm live, Ashley Mitchum, Channel 4, the local station. Absolutely, Bruce. In fact, teachers have been starting to line up since about 5:15. It's really incredible to see. There's about 50 of them here, kind of camped out, if you will, hanging out, ready to get some school supplies. And as you said, this is such a huge, important event for them because otherwise they have to spend money out of pocket for those supplies. The annual giveaway starts at 8:30, lasts through 1. Popular opportunity, obviously, for people to already be here. They load up for supplies for their students. Hundreds of teachers are expected to show up today. As they do every year, they'll find shelves and aisles full of pens, pencils, paper, and of course other supplies. The best part is it's all free thanks to donations made by local businesses here in our community. And again, teachers really rely on this. They are allowed to bring 3 canvas bags. They can fill them up with whatever they want. I went inside, in fact, they can fill them up with decorations, or they can fill them up with books, or whatever they need for their classroom. A lot of glue in there, a lot of pencils and paper, what you'd expect to see. A teacher spend, I looked this up, about an average of $500 a year out of their own pocket for supplies for their classroom. And again, that's why you see so many people showing up today, because that's a lot of money when you think about especially those new teachers who start out with nothing and they're trying to prepare their classroom for the school year. So we'll be out here all morning. It's gonna be kind of like a party later on, so we'll show you that. I'm live, Ashley Mitchum, Channel 4, the local station.
All right, Ashley, thank you.